Hello, in this videocast we're going to be looking particularly at answering the question and the essay organisation. In particular, has the writer answered the question in the title? And what organisation has he used to make his opinion clear? First of all, let's go back a little bit to how the writer prepared for the essay. Now, the writer did very much what we've encouraged you to do throughout this course. He analysed the title, he found the key words, he searched for materials. First of all, he perhaps Googled generally, and then he progressed to looking at academic sources on the library website. As he was reading, he took notes. Now, this was very important for him because it allowed him to analyse what he was reading and evaluate what he read. This then led to him deciding on his position. He needed to make his mind up about what he believed in order to give an answer to the question in the essay title. And then he planned his essay in the best way he could, using the best organisation to answer the question, to make his ideas flow. Let's have a look at the essay that he wrote in more detail. First of all, he decided to divide it into the following sections. He had a title. Very important to write your title at the beginning before you actually write your essay. He wrote an introduction, he had 4 body paragraphs, and then he had a conclusion. Now, your essay doesn't have these sections delineated, so those sections are not clear in the essay that you've printed off. Part of the purpose of this presentation is for you to decide where those sections begin and end. So where does the introduction finish? Where do the paragraphs finish? Let's look at the introduction. If we look at the title, Critically Evaluate China's Special Economic Zones Initiative as an Approach to Reducing Poverty in the African Continent, the writer knows that he has to show what poverty is, what's the definition of poverty. He then knows that he has to show the context of poverty and its reduction strategies. So he has to show that he understands what poverty reduction strategies are and why they're necessary. He has to show that he knows what a special economic zones initiative is. And at the final part of the introduction, he has to show that he knows why he's writing this essay. So on the right, what we've got is the writer's thoughts. 1A, I need to show what poverty is. 1B, I need to show what the background situation to poverty is and its reduction strategies. 1C, I need to know what the SEZ initiative is. 1D, I need to show that I know why I'm writing this essay. So what I'd like you to do is take a colour pen, preferably red, light grey and orange, and I want you to find those sentences in the paragraph, in the introductory paragraph, that correspond to 1A, 1B, 1C and 1D. See if you can do that, and in that way you'll have analysed how the writer has built up his introduction. Let's look at paragraphs 2 and 3. Following the writer's line of argument, first of all, he wants to show that he understands the benefits or the advantages of the SEZ model, and he then wants to show that he understands what criticisms there have been of this model. And the criticisms are the counter-argument, so arguing against the benefits. So in these 2 paragraphs, we're arguing for the benefits of the SEZ model and then showing that the writer understands the opposite point of view. Now, these are presented in 2 separate paragraphs, and I'd like you to go through this paragraph showing the red section and the blue section. The red section is paragraph 2, and where the blue section begins, that's paragraph 3. Paragraphs 4 and 5, I want you to read these, and I want you to show that you can see here that the writer has shown that he understood the counter-argument in paragraph 3, but that he's rejecting that counter-argument in paragraph 4. He's rejecting the accusations against the SEZ model. And then in paragraph 5, we're going to see how he's rejecting it even further, finding further evidence to reject that counter-argument. So see if you can show where the red section is and then where the blue section is, which is paragraph 5. Then we're going to move on to the conclusion. Now this conclusion shows, first of all, a summary of the argument. It shows a summing up of his position, his opinion. Now interestingly, we don't get this writer's position or opinion or answer to the question until the conclusion. So he's presented evidence for, he's presented evidence against, and then on the basis of that he summarised and he said, this is my opinion. So see if you can find where his position or his opinion is presented. Then part of his position is to recommend something for the future. Have a look to see if you can find where advice for the future is included. Finally, we've got a word count. That's really important that when you write an assignment you put a word count at the end, because then your reader knows if you've actually followed the rules. So take a coloured pen, delineate or highlight the blue, the light grey, the red and the purple sections.